Well, for the last 34 years, the Tsow-Tun Le Lum Society has operated a treatment center called Helping House on land lease from the Snanaas First Nation near Lanceville. But now they are poised to move. A new $5 million center is being built in Cowichan Tribe's territory. In the new facility, the society will continue its work to address substance abuse and the enduring trauma of residential schools. For more on this, we have reached Nola Jeffrey, who is the executive director. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. You've been, as I mentioned, in the current facility for more than 3 decades. Why move?
The reason we're moving is we leased land off of the Snanaas people, and our lease comes up in August of 2022. The community has grown over the years, and they need the land that we're leasing back.
So how did you decide where to go?
Tsow-Tun Le Lum put out an RFP to Vancouver Island. We wanted to be in community, and so we put it out to the communities, narrowed it down, went and looked at about 5 properties, and then from that, my board was very involved. I have a board of directors of 9 that come from the 3 families, the 3 original families on the island, the Coast Salish, the Nuu-chah-nulth, and the Kwakwaka'wakw. And then we have a Mohawk on our board also that represents all the other nations, the urban nations. So they were very involved in the process and helped to select the new site down in Cowichan.
You currently have 10 rooms. How many rooms and beds will the new facility have?
It'll have 16 rooms, same amount of beds. We currently have 32 beds. We'll still have 32 beds.
Okay, so will you be offering more services, or will it just be a new space for those services?
For now, it's going to be a new space for those services. If we can find operational funding, we may expand our services. We currently are on 2.5 acres. In the new location, we will be on 5 acres.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happens at your facility and what the new location will help you do as well?
Well, we opened our doors 34 years ago because the 3 families on the island didn't want their people having to go far away from home to at that time they called it treatment, to enter treatment. And back then people thought the problem was the alcohol and drugs, but not so much drugs. And once we opened our doors, and I wasn't there back then. I'm kind of a newbie at Tsow-Tun Le Lum. I've only been there 22 years.
Okay.
But once we opened our doors, we realized that was the symptom, and that the problem was the trauma and the grief and the historical trauma, and something I call blood memory, something that people call epigenetics that gets passed down. So we started, I think maybe 24 years ago, we started a trauma program. So we have people that come in, and I don't like the wording, but I don't have other wording for it. So people that would come in to our alcohol and drug programs, and what is really important about who we are and what we do is that it comes from the teachings of our people. So that's the foundation of the work that we do, that cultural work. And it's really about how people to reconnect to themselves, reconnect to the ancestors and Creator, reconnect to the land. The land is so important to us. Reconnect to our families, because there was lots of disconnection. And it's about how we work. One of the things I learned when I got to Tsow-Tun Le Lum very, very quickly is that we don't do this work alone, that the ancestors and Creator come and help and guide us. And even before I started this conversation with you, I did a prayer to ask the ancestors to come to be with me as I speak, so that I can step forward in a good way, so that I can speak my truth, so that I can do a good job of representing who we are and what we do. So foundation is the teachings, our cultural ceremonies, our cultural way of being. And I always say to people, the programs are important, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is how we treat people. And at Tsow-Tun Le Lum, it's a home, and we're a family. And so to treat people with love. Love is the first thing the elders have taught me about. I learned it in my own family, but love is the most important thing. And to be respectful, to treat people with honor, to treat people with kindness, to be accepting of who they are, and to really be there to support them. And Tsow-Tun Le Lum just provides a space, and not just it does provide a space where people can feel safe. Safety is hugely important. And then we offer things for people to do their own healing work. I can only do my own healing work. I can't do the healing work for anyone else. And so, and I know that culture heals. I know that culture helps us connect. I know that culture lets me know who I am and where I belong. It also lets me know that I'm never, ever walking alone.
There has been a lot of conversation and reflection taking place right now about the traumatic legacy of residential schools, with the news from Kamloops, of course. But that has also been triggering for some survivors and their families. How has that affected the work that you do?
I think it's triggering for everyone. I think it's very triggering for most people in this country that call themselves Canadians, because they didn't know the truth about what happened in those places. I don't want to call them schools in those places. And so it is activating, because the stuff sits within inside us. It sits at a cellular level, and we knew the truth. I've been told the truth by so many survivors over the years. I was one of the counselors in our trauma program that we run for 7.5 years. I actually got to participate in the Truth and Reconciliation. So I've heard these stories over and over and over again. So it wasn't a surprise to me, although it was shocking, same as everyone else. And it has brought up a lot of feelings. And as hard as that is, I think it's a good thing, because those are the things that make us sick and cause dis-ease. And so Tsow-Tun Le Lum has a support line that we started, First Nations Health. We work very closely with First Nations Health Authority, and First Nations Health Authority reached out to us last year when the pandemic started and asked us if we could start a support line. And so people can call in and they can access our cultural support team. I have a fairly big cultural support team from the 3 nations, and then other nations like Anishinaabe, Tsimshian, Gitxsan, Mohawk. So Cree people are on my cultural support team, so people can call in, and they've been getting virtual support. That way they can also get counseling support and clinical counseling support. So our phone lines are busier, for sure, by far. And there's a lot of people that are grieving right now and mourning, and that's not just Indigenous people. It's not just our people. It's many other people.
Well, Nola, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, and good luck with the move to the new location.
Thank you. The only one thing I wanted to clarify is our new facility is probably going to be more like $13 million.
Okay.
And it's $5 million that we need to raise. We got a very good chunk of money from First Nations Health Authority. And so First Nations Health Authority and the province both put in $20 million to help update the facilities that are in BC, and the federal government has promised to put in $20 million, and so we're still waiting for that to happen. So, and I need to raise $5 million.
How do you are you confident that you can do that?
I am confident because I'm going to go back to Creator and the ancestors. I know that they've been with us. They've been with us and guiding us all this time. That they helped us when with us choosing the land, and they're going to help us get the funds. That doesn't mean I just sit still and wait for the money to come out of nowhere. But I am confident and I'm not afraid to ask for what I need, because it's not for me, it's for our people. What I do because I have this huge, big gift of love in my heart, and I feel like I'm in service to the people. And so I will do what I need to do so that I can help them help themselves.
Okay. Well, listen, Nola, good luck. It was wonderful to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nola Jeffrey is the Executive Director